Hi guys, welcome to my new video. If you're new here, I'm Heather, and today I am going to be reviewing the brand new foundation from YSL Beauty. This is the All Hours Glow, and I have it in two different shades. I have LN3 and LN4. I've actually been gravitating more towards this one. It's a little bit warmer in tone, and I just think that for this time of year that suits my complexion a little bit better. Now, before we get into the swatches, wear time and all the rest of it, I just want to mention my own skin because I do think that's important when it comes to a foundation. I'm 42 years old, so I have fine lines. I do also have a combination skin type, which means that my T-zone is quite oily, but then the skin on my cheeks and my neck tend to be a lot drier. I also do suffer with a little bit of redness on the skin, so I'm looking for a product that is going to help give my complexion a lovely glow, cover any redness, cover any blemishes, and basically not get caught in my fine lines. I am asking quite a lot from a foundation, and for reference, the product that I usually use is the It Cosmetics CC Cream. I love the original formula that has an SPF 50. It's quite thick and definitely full coverage, but it does feel light on the skin. But since having these, and I've been trying them now for a little over a week, I really like this formula. And I think I have mentioned it several times on this channel before that foundation doesn't always work that well for me. That's why I do tend to go for a CC cream, but this is a really special foundation. I'm going to show you how I like to apply it, talk about what's been working well for me. I will say though that I applied this foundation nearly 8 hours ago and I still love the way that it looks. I haven't retouched my makeup at all. The only thing that I did put on a little bit of this because it had completely rubbed off. It's the YSL Loveshine Plumping Lip Oil Gloss in number 6. Really does help to give my lips a plumper look. And it feels amazing on the lips. First up, I need to take a moment for the gorgeous packaging. I think this is just perfection. So the lid looks really premium, and then you've got the glass bottle, and then it also has a pump applicator. Each of the bottles holds 25 mils of product, which is 0.84 fluid ounces. The brand describes the product as long-lasting, buildable coverage, second skin texture, glow couture finish. I definitely find that a little product goes a very long way, and I also find the pump easy to use, so I can get out just the right amount that I'm looking for. The formula also has some great skincare benefits. It's enriched with hyaluronic acid and niacinamide. I was actually lucky enough to attend a makeup masterclass with the experts at YSL Beauty, so I was able to see firsthand the best way to apply it. Each of the makeup artists popped it onto the back of their hand, and then they applied it kind of from the middle of the face working outwards. You can of course use your fingertips as I am here, and then to get the most flawless finish they advised that you could buff it out with a brush. Today I was suffering with quite a lot of redness. I had a few blemishes and a cut on my forehead, so I am going quite heavy on the application because I want to show you that it is definitely buildable. On those days when I haven't really got any issues and I'm just looking to even out the appearance of my skin tone, I'll use probably less than half of what I've got on my face here. Even if you're someone that likes to apply your foundation with your fingertips, I definitely recommend taking a nice soft brush like this one just to buff it all out, and it gives a more, I would say, airbrushed, seamless finish to the skin. As far as skin prep goes, I cleansed, I used a toner, and then I went in with a nice moisturizer. I'm currently using the Medicate Advanced Pro Collagen Peptide Cream. I find that one to be a great base for makeup. And then on any areas that are a little bit troublesome, that need more coverage, I've taken a slightly smaller version of that brush, and then I'm just packing more of the foundation onto those areas of skin. I always like to take a slightly lighter shade of concealer under my eyes because I do have quite a lot of darkness. Today I'm using one from NARS. It's the Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Creme Brulee. This is a glowy foundation, so we want that nice, healthy, dewy finish. But if you're like me and you do have quite oily skin, it is always a good idea to set certain areas of the face with a powder. I'm just taking a tiny amount of the All Hours Hyper Finish in Translucent to set any areas where I tend to get greasy. I thought I'd include the rest of the makeup routine because I do think it's nice to see how products apply on top of a foundation. I have actually been able to wear cream products, powders, and they all blend flawlessly. It's not as if I go in with a cream blush and then my foundation is sliding all around my face. It really does stay put. I even mixed a little bit of the Glow foundation with my moisturiser the other day, and I really like the way that it looked. This is the shade LN4 on my skin, and as I said, I've had it on now. I said 8 hours, it's actually nearly 9 hours. Just take my gorgeous powder compact. This is the All Hours Hyper Finish. Have you ever seen more beautiful makeup packaging? Honestly, I know it shouldn't be about the packaging, but when a product looks as beautiful as this, I'm definitely more inclined to use it. If there's a plain bottle and one like this, I mean, come on. Right, I am going to zoom in and show you exactly what my skin looks like. On my forehead here, I have actually got a cut. Unfortunately, my son caught me with one of his nails, and I have managed to cover it up with the foundation, and I can't believe it. I set it with a tiny amount of this powder and it's still in place. You know, even on my cheeks here, where I've got most of my fine lines, I did put some concealer under my eyes because that is what I would do normally, but it did layer perfectly over the foundation. Foundation definitely hasn't got caught in the fine lines. And then my chin, my cheeks, that's where I tend to get the redness. And again, it's still covered. I mean, don't get me wrong, I could definitely freshen up my makeup look, but I think for almost 9 hours of wear, this is pretty incredible. You can even still see where is it? I've got all my makeup laid out here. You can even still see the All Hours Hyper Luminize powder. Look how pretty that is. But yeah, you can still see it on my cheeks. That is amazing. I didn't use a setting spray today. I usually use the Urban Decay All-Nighter setting spray. I do really like that one. Today I thought, no, I'm just going to use the foundation, YSL products, and then my concealer is NARS. I don't have a YSL concealer, unfortunately. I would love to try the Clicky Pen one. I think it's called Touche Clay. It launched, I think, 25 years ago. I remember when it launched because I did have one back then. But I would love to get that again. If you've used it recently, please let me know in the comments because I would love to know if it's worth investing in. I mean, actually my eyeshadow, is not holding up as well. But everything about my complexion, this might be the most long wearing foundation I've ever tried. Usually, because I have got that oily T-zone, what I find is, even though you get these foundations and they say 24-hour wear, I mean, you're not going to wear a foundation for 24 hours, but I usually find that it looks quite cakey after a while, or my forehead is just so shiny, my nose is shiny, and yes, there is a shine, but that's the glow. I feel like my complexion still looks fresh. It doesn't look, in my opinion, it doesn't look oily and greasy. Love this. When it comes to removing the product in the evening, what I like to do is take my Garnier Micellar water and I just run that all over my skin, and then I like to go in with a nice gentle cleanser. I've been using a Kiehl's face wash in the evening. It foams up and it really helps to remove every last trace of makeup. But to be honest, on those evenings when I've been quite lazy, all I have done is just used the face wash that I have in the bathroom, whatever it may be, whatever's closest to hand. I've had no issues with the foundation blocking my pores or causing any blemishes. It's just great. How does my skin feel when I'm wearing the foundation? I forget I'm wearing it. For me, as I've said before many times, I don't really enjoy the feel of most foundations on my skin. That's what really sets this apart. And that's what really inspired me to make this video, because I'm not somebody that loves to wear a full coverage foundation. I hate the feel of it on my skin. I definitely do like to rely more on skincare. I like to take great care of my skin, and then I don't need to use as many complexion products. However, as I'm getting older, I am noticing that my complexion sometimes needs a little bit of help, and that's why I've been gravitating towards this. It feels so lightweight on the skin and it's hydrating. I don't get any flakes around my nose. That can happen sometimes. I'll apply a foundation, a couple of hours later I look in the mirror and I've got like dry skin around my nose. It's all kind of cakey around here. None of that with this. I do hope that you've enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions about the YSL All Hours Glow Foundation, please write me a comment and I will do my absolute best to answer it for you. I finish every single video with what perfume I'm wearing and what's on my lips. On my lips is the YSL Loveshine Plumping Lip Oil Gloss in shade 06. Very quickly as well, I love these earrings. I picked them up from Lavisa fairly recently and I think they kind of remind me of 80s vintage inspired. They're very light. I just think they're gorgeous. And my fragrance today is this beautiful one from Mugler. It's Angel Nova. It has notes of raspberry, rose accord. It's like summer in a bottle. I actually have a whole video on this, which I will link in the description box. It's just such a gorgeous, fresh, fruity fragrance. And how beautiful is the bottle. I hope that you have a lovely day, whatever it is you're doing, and I hope to see you very soon. Bye.